Now that January 10th has come and gone, many Nintendo fans are starting to grow worried if we'll even see a Nintendo Direct this month. But not only that, some fans are even growing concerned if 2019 will even be a good year for the Switch. Well, what if I were to tell you that not only will this year be a great year for the Nintendo Switch, but this could very well be the greatest year for any home console in Nintendo's history. Welcome everyone, this is AndresRestart, and as I said in the intro, I believe that this year will be the best year for the Nintendo Switch. Now when I say this is going to be the best year for the Switch, I'm not referring to sales, but while we're on the subject, I also believe that this will be the best sales year for the Nintendo Switch. Usually, the third year is the best year for a Nintendo console, and on top of that, we know that Pokemon, Fire Emblem, and Animal Crossing are all coming out this year. These are all really big sellers. They all sold over 10 million on the 3DS. I feel like they'll probably do the same on the Switch. On top of that, there are rumors of a revision coming out this year, maybe even a price drop, and we're also riding on the momentum of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So I feel like it's very likely that 2019 is going to be the best year in terms of sales for the system. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk about how 2019 is going to be the best year in terms of games for this system. I think this year we will be seeing more games coming out for the Nintendo Switch than any other previous home console for Nintendo. And there are numbers to back that up. So we're going to be going over the amount of releases that have come out from Nintendo between 2016 and 2018, but there's a couple criteria that these games need to abide by to be included in these lists. 1, it needs to be published by Nintendo. 2, it needs to be a retail game. I'm not counting eShop games. On top of that, if it's something like, say, for example, Pokemon Sun and Moon, I'm going to count that as just one game, even though there are 2 versions. But at the same time, if there's a compilation like, for example, Bayonetta 1 and 2, I'll also be counting that as just one game. However, if it's something like Hyrule Warriors, where it came out on both the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch, I will be counting both of those individual releases as 2 different games. So with that all said, let's go over the numbers. So in 2016, we saw 23 published Nintendo games, 17 of which came out for the 3DS and just 6 came out for the Wii U. In 2017, we saw the release of the Nintendo Switch, and there were 24 total published Nintendo games. One of them was Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, so we're going to exclude that, which just leaves us with 23 games, 13 of which came out for the 3DS and 10 came out for the Switch. And then in 2018, we saw just 6 games come out for the 3DS and 18 for the Switch. So as you can see, the amount of 3DS games has been going down year by year, but for the Switch, it's been going up. And in 2019, I expect that trend to continue. Instead of us seeing 6 games come out this year for the 3DS, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see 4 or 5, and as for the Switch, we could be seeing maybe 19 or 20 published Nintendo games. Currently, we know about 3 games confirmed for the 3DS in 2019 and 9 for the Switch. I think that number is going to double. I think they'll maybe announce 1 or 2 more 3DS games and the rest are going to be for the Nintendo Switch. So if you look at the thumbnail I made for this video, I included 8 games: Pokemon, Fire Emblem, Yoshi, Luigi's Mansion, and Animal Crossing, along with Star Fox Grand Prix, Bayonetta 3, and Metroid Prime 4. Only 5 of those games are confirmed for 2019. Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4, we don't know when they're coming out yet, and Star Fox Grand Prix is just a rumored game. But what I'm suggesting is that these other games could be coming out this year as well. Is it for sure going to happen? No, that we don't know that. They could hold off 1 or 2 of these games for next year. That's definitely a possibility. At the same time, it's important to note that while I am referring to published Nintendo games, some of those games aren't necessarily developed by Nintendo. For example, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is published by Nintendo, but it's obviously not developed by Nintendo. This is a third-party franchise that Nintendo's helping out with to get it to be exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. And also, not every single game is going to be a big AAA effort. There are going to be smaller games like Travis Strikes Again or Sushi Strikers last year. But nevertheless, I feel like the point still stands that the numbers suggest that we're going to be seeing about 19 or 20 published Nintendo games come out for the Switch this year, which means the amount of games that we currently know that are coming to the Switch this year is going to be doubled. And that may include the likes of Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, and Star Fox Grand Prix. And while it may seem too good to be true, you guys have to understand that Nintendo is focusing more and more of the development efforts onto just one system, as the numbers suggest. More and more of the developers that were on the 3DS are moving over to the Nintendo Switch, like Game Freak, the developer behind Pokemon and Town. But ultimately, there probably will be more than one Nintendo published game coming out for every month of the year. Is it possible that maybe there may be a month or two that don't have a Nintendo game? Yeah, but that also means there are going to be other months that may have 2 or 3. When you have about 20 games coming out for the Switch this year from Nintendo, there are only 12 months. Some months are going to have more than one game. So in other words, the Switch is going to have more games come out for it than any other previous home console in the entire history of Nintendo, and it's probably going to be a fantastic year. But what do you guys think? What sort of games do you think we could be seeing for the Switch this year? Let me know in the comments below. But anyways, everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching. I really appreciate it. If you're new here and you love Nintendo content, make sure to subscribe and maybe also hit that notification bell. But that's it. I'll see you all really soon. Bye.